of the personal finance book Rich Dad, Poor Dad have some choice words for Executive Order 14067. It would behoove you to listen to them. Kiyosaki called President Joe Biden's signed executive order the most treasonous act in U.S. history, and the creation of a central bank digital currencies, or CBDC, as communism in its purest form, encouraging Americans to stay awake. And he's also joined by Jim Rickards, another economist, investor, and former CIA official, who's calling it a step toward the end of cash, the greenback in circulation since the founding fathers. The new digital tokens can be turned off if the government doesn't like what you're doing. And Rickards has 4 decades of experience on Wall Street. Rickards criticized CBDC and labeled it as Bitcoin's evil cousin. He also exposed the supposed singular event called C-Day, which according to him will take place on December 13th, 2022, and will disrupt the traditional financial systems in the United States. He said when what he calls C-Day happens, paper money would be worthless and the US dollar could crash. He further added that consumer spending and access to basic needs will be restricted, and people holding too much money will be penalized. Going further into this, in terms of practicality, you want to keep your internal combustion engine car? Your digital dollars suddenly won't pay for the gas. You'd be forced to buy an electric vehicle. And Rickards calls it a tip of the fastest iceberg. With Biden bucks, the government would be able to force you to comply with this agenda, because if you don't, they can turn off your money. And this won't be like freezing a bank account. It'll be so much easier. America will become a surveillance state, much like China or North Korea says. Is this scare talk? No, it's just Executive Order 14067. And Biden signed it on March the 9th, 2022. By the authority vested in me as president by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America. Look it up. Now, this is coming from WorldNet Daily. I'll leave the link down below. Of course, I know you got a lot of comments. Leave them down below as well. For TNS Texas News Studio, Mark Myers, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloya, La Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honor as always, Them Yad, to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Habayath Madawadah, the house of David, the brothers laboring day in and day out, giving all diligence to make their calling of election sure, helping seal the elect of the nation of Israel for the return of our Lord Hamashiach Yahushai, Allah Hayanawa, is at hand, and to the Akim wa Akwath, which are the brothers and sisters who also listen and believe on the glorious gospel of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that's being preached worldwide unto you. I say shalom. So shalom to the hopeful elect. This is the brother Sakallah coming back with a lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, I don't want to desire this lesson is edifying unto the hopeful elect. So I'm going to jump right into it. And as you heard from the video, which really just reemphasizes this article that I'm going to go into and bring a few points out of. This publication is from www.wnd.com, as you see on the screen. And we see the title. It says Biden is planning to protect us from cash beginning December the 13th. So as you read, it goes into how this order establishes Bitcoin's evil cousin, which now is going into the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, which all this is a push for the MOTB and ultimately the NWO that's spoken of in the Holy Scriptures. So we are actually in those times, which is the fall of Babylon, and this new system being implemented, which is all biblical prophecy, as we know. So a thing to look up of note is Executive Order 14067. Executive Order 14067, which establishes this push that we see here, which is this planning to protect us from cash. So now, cash and money has been used for hundreds of years in this society and throughout the world, for millennia. So why do we need protection from cash? Showing you that this is the time that the Most High Yahweh Shem Rashai preordained, and through prophecy that we know that time is now, right? So we're at the end, of the rule of the wicked. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob, Yaquab, is the beginning of it that followeth. So now, a lot of this was what was spoken of in the video, but I'll touch on this point. It says he said, when what he calls C-Day, which is supposed to be this date here, the 13th of December, right, happens, paper money will be worthless and the US dollar would crash. So we're getting closer to that day. Now, whether that day is the actual day or not is not the point. The point is that we know throughout the Bible that this time is going to come. And we'll get into the precepts here in just a second. It says the US dollar would crash. It says he further added that consumer spending and access to basic needs would also be restricted, and people holding too much money would be penalized. So you have those that are diehard cash people. They're going to be penalized. So all this is being put out, that the push is coming, so that those that do have money, large sums of money, saved up, that they're going to be, they're basically going to be ostracized and going to be, for lack of better words, be criticized and be, labeled anti-government. So this is the push of the wicked, is to label, you Jakes anti-government. Now, in the midst of that is going to be the people that are here as well. But you Jakes, this is the time of Jacob's trouble, which is going to be the time where, everything's going to fall apart, as the Most High said. And so for you non-believers, for you naysayers, for you gainsayers, it's going to be the time where the Most High Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to truly turn up and show you, for your lack of faith, for your incredulity, that you will be punished. For all the non-believers, there's a punishment coming by way of Yahweh Shem Yahushua to all the faithless. And that's the time that we are in. That's why the prophets are here, to let you know these things. Now, it goes on to say, Executive Order 14067, titled Ensuring Responsible Development of Digital Assets, includes developing policy plans and the organization of federal regulations. Any further dollar payment system should be designed in a way that is consistent with the United States priorities and domestic values, including privacy protections. And what are those priorities? To push the CHIP, the Charagma. Those are the priorities, which we know is all prophecy. It says in global financial systems, so this is going to be a global thing, which we'll touch on here in Revelation, the 13th chapter. It says in platform and architecture, and it goes on to say, let's see if we got any more. The Internal Monetary Fund said in a blog release last month that CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, that is, compared to credit and debit cards, particularly in terms of energy efficiency. So I think that was all. So, and then it got some highlights some sections. Section 4 of Biden's Executive Order 14067. Brothers and sisters can look that up, and it goes further into the plans and the plots of the wicked that are upon us. So we don't have much time, left. It's the time to repent and to have faith and to believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua and be ready. Make yourself ready for the coming of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So let's jump into it with a few precepts. Lord willing, Adonai Ratazah. This is edifying. This is the book of Daniel 8. And I'm going to start at verse 24. Because what I'm about to read, can be attributed to what's going on now. As we read Daniel 8 and 24, it says, in his power, and that power that, is being referred to is the power that this man's going to come down with, that's been given by Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Let's show that. It says, in his power. I'll read a little bit more before I bring it. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. And he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice, and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. And the mighty and the holy people are the Israelites. And once again, this can be attributed to now, when we're reading in Daniel. It's twofold. So now let's read it again. Daniel 8 and 24. And his power. Who is this making reference to? Job 9 and 24 tells us the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. So speaking of the wicked, who's ruling the earth. So his power shall be mighty, it says, but not by his own power. So where's he getting his power from? Where's the wicked, Esau, Edom, receiving their power from? It's the book of 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7. It says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And he that is letting, allowing this to go on is the Most High. The Most High in Yahweh Shai, sitting in the heavens, allowing prophecy to be fulfilled. So that the angels are playing on the minds of the rulers of the earth to fulfill each and every last prophecy. So that's he who now letteth, is Yahweh, while Yahweh Shai, which our Lord Hamashiach Yahweh Shai has been given all power in heaven and earth, right, to accomplish these things. So now let's go back, to the book of Daniel. It's Daniel 8 once again, and 24. And his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power, and he shall destroy wonderfully, and shall prosper and practice. Meaning he's gonna actually, the Most High is gonna allow this to come to pass. What we're reading, what we know, which we'll touch on here in a second in Revelation, the 13th chapter, which is the Charagma. The Most High is gonna allow this to happen. It says to practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. So those that are ordained, to receive of this condemnation, they're gonna receive of it. Those that are ordained to take the MOTB, they're gonna take it. But the elect, the remnant, the Most High is predestined to be protected in these times. The remnant are going to be protected, as it says throughout the scriptures and prophecy, that the elect are actually going to return to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai in the last days. The remnant shall return. And a big part of the remnant returning goes into the fact that that remnant seed, which is known as the elect in the Bible, that remnant seed is going to return to serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and they're not going to take the CHIP and the Charagma, the MOTB, right? Verse 25, Daniel 8:25, and through his policy, see, his policies goes into his laws. Also, he shall cause craft, which is witchcraft, to prosper in his hand, and the Most High is going to allow this to come to pass because it's prophecy. And he shall magnify himself in his heart. He's going to be lifted up. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, right? So he's going to be magnified in his heart. And by peace, meaning he's going to think he's going to be able to accomplish this. But like it says in Job, the 18th and 20th chapter, the Most High is going to rain it on him while he's eating. And by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, speaking of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai. But he shall be broken without hand. But it's not going to prosper. All of his plans of wickedness is not going to prosper, because that is prophecy as well. So what we're witnessing is the last of the end time prophecies come to pass, and the end, of the rule of Esau, Edom over the earth. His reign of terror and tyranny over the earth is almost up. That continuous stroke is almost over. This is the book of Revelation 13 and 16. And he, speaking of the wicked, and he causeth all, meaning this is going to be by force. This is going to be forced participation. This is going to be get down or lay down. He's going to cause all. So, no one's going to be exempt. It's not going to be no social status or way to not be affected directly. Each and every person, man, woman, and child. It says, and he calls it all. So everybody, both small and great. So no matter what your status is, no matter if you're a child, if it's a baby, it says both small and great, rich and poor. So the rich and the poor, whether you're homeless, whether you are, living at the poverty line or above it, or you're rich, you're affluent, whether you have a 6-figure job, or you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you work for the government, you work for any, system. It doesn't matter. If you're in this society, in this world, this is going to be pushed. It says rich and poor, free and bond, those in jail, those that are not, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. We go into this a lot. That word mark goes back to Charagma. Now, verse 17, it says, and that no man might buy or sell. So this is what the Most High is allowing him, to accomplish by allowing him to set up, this enterprise that he think is going to work, which is the once again CHIP the whole world, to give the Charagma, right? And that no man might buy or sell. So this is being set up. So this will be pushed, and this is going to show forth who are truly the believers in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. save he that have the mark. So the mark is going to be forced. You're going to have this to be a part of society. Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. So we go into 666, it speaks, going into the barcode, going into this new digital system, in essence. This new digital system, touches on that. So now, when it goes into the number of his name, let's see if I can get another precept here. 1 second. Now this is through the spirit. See if I can find this. Salakia. Got a precept that just popped up in my mind. I want to touch on this. So let's see if I can get this. This is I think it's in the book of Kings. See if I can find it. Salakia. Once again, Salakia. This is 1 Kings, the 10th chapter and the 14th verse. 1 Kings 10 and 14. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents. Now, how ironic is that? Which we know that there's no irony. So, the 666 gets into what? We see 666 in there. So now, as we continue to read, let's go back. Let's go back to what we were reading in Revelation 13, right? And we were in verse 18 now. It says, here is wisdom concerning the mark of the MOTB, the Charagma. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. We just read that the amount of gold that Solomon had brought in, in a year's time was 666 back in 1 Kings, the 10th chapter. Let's read it again. This is just through the spirit. This precept popped up in my mind. Just to show further, it gives us more understanding about the times we be in, right? 1 Kings 10 and 14. Now the weight of gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 666 talents of gold. Now a natural man would say that that's a coincidence, but it's not, right? So this gold, we know that this, gold and silver, are actually, forms of currency. So we know that this will be a big part of what this man will be doing, will be dealing with the currency. Now, this is going to affect all aspects of life and all functions of society. But the currency, when you go back to Revelation 13, we understand that this economic system is going to change. It's going to crash, because it says once again in Revelation 13 to 17 that no man might buy or sell, right? Save he that have the mark. You would have to have the Charagma in order to buy or sell. So the 666, going back to the time of Solomon, just shows forth and gives us more understanding. It says, here's a mind with, here's wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, right? And we once again know that that's 666. And this, just gives us more understanding about how this system, and it cues us in the spirit to know that a big part of this is the economic system it's speaking about, that no man might buy or sell. That's why that's here, right? So we know that in order to be a part of the society, you have to take the MOTB. But the scriptures tell us, and we'll get it here in a second, that anyone that takes the MOTB and participate in an NWO, in this man's new system, if anyone falls for this witchcraft, they're going to be destroyed. That's the promise of the Most High. That's going to be the greatest separation that's going to be shown in these last days of who the believers are and who are not. Acts 17 and verse 29. I got another precept that popped up I want to touch on. Acts 17 and 29, it says, for as much then as we are the offspring of the Most High, we ought not to think that the Godhead is like unto gold or silver or stone. It says graven by art and man's device. Now, we'll go into this word. It says graven by art and man's device. I want to go into this word here, graven, because it told us that the Charagma, the Charagma is the MOTB, right? We know that. So let's get this word for graven. Now, the word for graven here in Acts 17 and 29 is G5480. G5480. And that word is the word Charagma, right? Charagma, a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the foreheads or on the right hand, which could be either hand, as the badge of the followers of the anti-Hamashiach. These are going to be the ones that's going to be destroyed. The 2/3 along with the heathen and the wicked. The mark branded upon horses, things carved, sculpture, graven work. So this is the graven work is what's being made reference of idolatrous image, because these will be truly known and shown who are the true idol worshipers in this day. Those that take the mark will be, taking on, this the branding of Satan. They'll be one with the beast system and Satan and Esau, and those that stand against it, are either going to be martyrs or they're going to be delivered by Yahweh Shem Shai, which is all predestination, right? This has all been predestined already in the spirit, how this is going to work. Whichever side, that you fall on is by the will of the Most High. So the believers are going to stand fast for this truth. As the scriptures say, who will rise up for me against the evildoers, against the workers of iniquity, right? In the book of Psalm 94:16. The elect are going to rise up and going to stand against wickedness. But the 2/3 are going to fall right in line, right? So they're going to be part of that idolatrous images, right? So now let's continue on and let's show that. So this is the book of Revelation for those that take the MOTB. Here's the reward, right? You'll be actually rewarded with destruction for taking the MOTB. And there's a reward for standing against it, being delivered, and being of the first fruits of the kingdom, are those that's going to stand against this. Now let's show that. This is the book of Revelation 14:9. Now the subtitle here in the blue letter is Doom for Worshippers of the Beast. And that's the beast system, right? Those that take the MOTB. Revelation 14:9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark, the MOTB, the Charagma, it says in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, which is the righteous anger of the Most High. So those that take it are gonna understand and feel what the righteous anger is, which we're gonna touch on that as well before we close the video out. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, the Elohim, and in the presence of the Lamb, which is Yahweh Shai. Verse 11, and the point, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Verse 12, here is the patience of the saints, the believers, the men, women, and children, right, of the elect, the Bakarim in the Hebrew. Here are they that keep the commandments. The commandments are kept by the Ha-Bakarim, which is the elect of the Most High, and the faith of Yahweh Shai. So those are the ones that truly keep the commandments and truly have the faith, which is the most key part of it. Who are those that keep the faith? Because you got Israelites out here that's in the circumcision who might keep the commandments, but you're going to have many of them that's going to turn to what? Going to turn to wickedness, going to turn to taking the MOTB because they don't truly have the faith, right? So let's show that further with a few more precepts when we close it out. This is the book of Revelation, the 15th chapter. Revelation 15. So the saints are gonna receive Salakia, the blessing of salvation. Revelation 15. And this is making reference to the elect, being in the chariots, looking down from the heavens back to the earth. Revelation 15:2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory, those that were beamed up in the chariots. That's the victory, right? Over the beast and over his image and over his mark and over the number of his name, stand on the sea of glass having the harps of the Most High. So those that are going to get the victory is going to be the elect. Once again, the Habakkuk, they're going to get the victory. So the Apostle John saw the elect, in those visions, in the chariots, praising the Most High Yahweh Shem Shai. Right? Revelation 16 in verse 2, and it reads, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore. That's for those that take the MOTB. That's going to be that noisome and grievous sore, right? That pus that's going to proceed forth, and that mark that's going to be on them. So there's no way you could take the MOTB and take it out, because once again, it's going to be it says a noisome, and it says and grievous sore. And when you go into the word noisome there, it means base, something that's wrong, wicked, troublesome, harmful, evil, ill, and bad. So taking that is going to be evil and bad, right? I heard someone say one time, where in the Bible does it say taking the MOTB is an actual sin? Well, when you go through the precepts and you see the reward for it, that shows you that whoever take it is actually known as the wicked, right? Those that are not the saints, those that are not the believers, those ultimately that were not, preordained, right? And predestined for salvation. So taking this, once again, is base, wrong, it is wicked. Because if you believe in Yahweh Shem Shah, then you will believe that he's going to deliver you, right? Troublesome, harmful, evil, ill is bad. So those that take, the image and worship, or take the mark or worship his image, right? So when you take it, you worship in the image. That's those are the idolatrous, images, right? You'll be taking that image of idolatry. Now, let's show even further, the reward and what the scriptures say about the MOTB. This is the book of Revelation 19, going right to the point in verse 20, and it reads, and the subtitle here is the doom of the beast and false prophet, right? That's the system this man set up, the beast system that he's coming with, and the false prophet also being the Roman Catholic Church down to the strongest arm, which is Christianity, right? Which is the, the religious system that's pushed the heaviest in the world. That's all through Roman Catholicism. That's why there's a pope. And then Christianity. Revelation 19 and 20, and the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him. So this system is going to be destroyed, completely. And that's what this is getting into. It says, with which he deceived them that have received the mark of the beast. So those that receive the MOTB are the ones that will be deceived by who? The beast system and the false prophet. So you're gonna have these pork chop eating pastors and a lot of wicked jakes that believe in different things, different religions. That's gonna be pushing for our people to take the MOTB. It says these both were cast alive into a lake of fire burning with brimstone. So they're gonna be destroyed, right? Those that take the MOTB are gonna be completely destroyed. And let's show that further and close it out. This is the book of Revelation 20 and 4. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given. It says, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. So there's going to be martyrs in this truth, right? But the overwhelming majority of Israel that don't take the MOTB, right, are going to make it out of here, because there's going to be an unnumbered multitude that's going to be saved, the scriptures tell us in Revelation the 7th chapter. And for the word of the Most High, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, they didn't take the MOTB, neither receive his mark upon their foreheads. They didn't, get marked with that mark of idolatry, or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. That's, that period of the kingdom being established. So to the believers, continue to believe, because we're coming into some terrible, tumultuous times, trying times, but beautiful times, because we are at the end. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning thereof. Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Haloyim La Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honor as always, them Yah to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, blessings, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Habayah Madawadah, the house of David, the brothers laboring day in and day out on the four corners of the earth, making their calling of election sure, helping seal the elect of the nation of Israel for the return of our Lord. Allah Yanawa, Hamashiach Yahushai is at hand. And to the Akim and Agwath who listen and truly believe on the glorious gospel of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Unto you I say shalom.